Today we're going to join a group chat with Anton Daniels and his crew. It's about dealing with women who had a promiscuous past. Let's get straight into it, my friends. Let's get straight into it. Like this video on the way in. Subscribe if you haven't. Of course, please book a session if you ever need any help from the older man. All right? Let's not waste any more time. This one is going to be a little longer, so I won't waffle too much.
Men that can't handle promiscuous women's past. Aww.
Man, y'all dudes that don't give a fuck about your woman's body count or her sexual past, you niggas have a level of maturity that I have not been able to reach. Because if my girl told me, oh, back in high school, she done got a train ran on her, and you think I'm gonna be able to like digest that and be like, oh, okay, that's cool. Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's fine. I just ain't got it in me. I have never been that mature a day in my fucking life. Cause like, you tell me you did any crazy shit like that, I'm going to judge you. And I'm definitely gonna put you in a different category. Like, you are definitely gonna get demoted immediately. So I'm gonna be trying to figure out, like, y'all dudes that be hearing these crazy shits about y'all girls or y'all wives and y'all stick beside them is insane.
All right. So before we hear the group, I just want to respond quickly to the gentleman. So that you ladies understand, getting demoted basically takes you from outside of a potential long-term relationship or marriage into the sex box. That means that you will no longer be qualified to be someone that he's going to protect and provide for long-term. You're going to just be there as a beaten stick. I hate to use that term, but the bottom line is it's just a sex-only category. And that's where most women do not want to end up, especially with a man that they admire. So let's hear what the group has to say, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm with that, brother.
Men, can you handle a woman's past?
No.
She was very honest with you.
Mm.
Gentle, what if your wife came out years later and told you some of the stuff she did in whatever when she was younger? Would you hold it past her even though you've been married for years?
Oh, yeah.
How many years?
Yeah, it depends.
Two men can't dish the same. They can't take the same thing that they dish. So absolutely not. A man can have 15 million pussies, but a woman can have slept with 5 guys, and that's just the end of the world.
All right. They're missing the point here. Gentlemen, I've repeated this in my book. Yeah, I'm going to bring up the book a lot because all of these problems that we now see in modern day relationships, I have addressed it in my book. The reality is simply this. You got to vet a woman properly before you marry her. You have to ask the hard questions right up front so you don't waste your time. You do not commit to that wife before you constantly vet her. You have to make her feel comfortable enough to tell you the truth. And you don't just do it once. You subtly bring it up in different types of scenarios so that she don't think that you're probing, but you're getting the information the way you should. You got to learn to get the information from her, for example, when she's angry at you and she don't mind making you feel that she's done this, because women love to use their body count as a freaking weapon. Well, you can't do this. I've had many men that have done this. Make her roll. Let her go with it. Egg her on. That's when the truth comes out. The truth isn't going to come out with you asking, so what's your body count? No. She'll tell you the lowest possible freaking number. Growing up, we were always told when a woman told you how many men she slept with, you just multiply it by 3. When a man tells you how many women he slept with, divide it by 3. And that was just standard, right? So you have to understand, gentlemen, every woman will lie about her body count. So all you have to do is learn to get it out of her subtly. But the biggest issue in this discussion, nowhere in here do they discuss why a man should be cautious of a woman who has a high body count. And that's what we're going to get into as well.
For some reason, I just don't understand it, because at the end of the day, asking about somebody's body count, I think, is a level of immaturity. And to add, it can't be verified anyway. So I can tell you that I only slept with one person or one other person other than you.
Now, this idea that it's a level of immaturity is just another way of her trying to shame men into silence. There is no such thing as an immature question. It is simply for you to gather knowledge about her past. And her past matters. Now, she's going to go into an argument where she's going to start saying, well, the woman is going to lie anyway, so why even ask? And that's why I told you, gentlemen, do not freaking just ask it outright. Yes, you can ask outright. Keep note of how she responds. But I can almost assure you she's lying. And it's up to you to dig further. And you do not, I repeat, you do not commit to a woman, whether it's with a child or with marriage, until you know how promiscuous she has been in the past. Because this past damages her. And it will determine whether you're going to be dealing with a nightmare or a woman who's going to be much easier for you to handle. Now, you can handle both of them, but one requires a significant more work. And of course, you know that's the one with the promiscuous past. I'll address this as we get further in this video.
Okay.
Would you date a man that said
it?
he used to be bi?
You said what?
Would you date a man that said he used to be bi?
No, because I'm not into that.
So that's a
We're
false
not into
equivalent
women
that
that
you're
got a
saying.
crazy body count.
Sexuality and then someone's sexual
Men and
partner,
women
those
are
two
not
are
the
not
same.
synonymous. You can't compare those two same
Men
things.
and
That's
women are not the
completely
same. You can't use the same. You can't use the same threshold to measure what we're talking about.
Yeah, Jess, we're not equal. We're not the same.
Nobody never said we were equal. My thing is, why harbor over something you can't verify anyway? You worried about the wrong shit.
I mean,
I'm
most
not worried about it.
how
I'm
she
saying,
treat you. How does she treat you?
Your argument right now is a false equivalent. You're saying if you found out your man slept with 100, most women don't care how many women.
No, women do care. Most women don't want no hoe.
Most women will still
but that's
go
not something we
marry
harbor
Chris Brown
over.
if they had the chance.
Women don't harbor over a man's body count.
The reason why women don't harbor over a man's body count is because she don't give a shit. They always try to play this, well, what about your body count bullshit? No woman wants a man that cannot get laid by other women. No woman wants a man that cannot get laid. The metrics of a man, how a man is measured, whether he's desirable or not, is simply based by how many women he attracts. A man that does not attract any woman whatsoever, I'm bird beaking. You got me bird beaking. All right. Women just don't freaking... When I hear women have these disingenuous arguments about what they find desirable, blows my freaking mind. Never listen to what women say, gentlemen. You have to see what they react to. A man will not be celibate if he can get laid. The only time that'll happen if he's under some religious edict or he's going through some, I don't know, sports performance or some mental thing. Reality of it is if a man is attractive enough and he has testosterone and women are coming at him, or he can get women easily, he is going to take it. It is in our nature. And women are only attracted to men who can get laid. They don't give a shit about his body count. The higher the body count, the more attractive she is to him. So I hate when women lie like this. God.
That's not something we harbor over, but we not, oh yeah, my nigga, he had 150 bodies. We're not going around like that's a badge of honor. I mean, granted, if it was up to us, he wouldn't have that many bodies, but we don't get hung up over that. That don't mean we don't care.
No, but
Jess, you wouldn't date a guy.
Would you date a guy who went to jail?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Like,
would I date a guy who went to jail?
Yeah, or murdered somebody in his past?
No, personally, I wouldn't want to date a murder. One, I wouldn't want to date a felon. But there's a lot of different reasons why people go to jail.
You said you don't want to.
Well,
You say you wouldn't. You said you don't want to.
I wouldn't. I would not be with a felon. I would not marry a felon. I would not be with a felon.
They wouldn't be with a hoe. That's the same.
Would you date a virgin?
You can't.
Yeah, would you date a virgin? That's exactly.
Would I date a male virgin? Yes.
Yeah.
You would?
Yeah, I would.
But we can't.
I don't believe that.
A woman.
Ask me. I
don't believe that at all.
Hello.
How you gonna ask me a question and then answer it for me when I gave y'all my answer?
Yeah, don't do that.
Because we all know as adults that you're lying. We know that women are not attracted to men who are not capable of getting laid. I just hate these bald-faced lies that these women try to portray just to hold up a point, and it's not even a valid or truthful point.
The whole panel. You'd be like, oh, is this true? Yeah. No, it ain't. We all do it.
But I'm going to say this, Jess. How men treat sex is not how women treat sex. Like,
exactly.
Women,
I disagree, Q, because women can be.
No, there are women nowadays that are acting like men, but that should not be the norm. But there's studies showing that the more body counts women have, the less they can emotionally connect. Men aren't the same like that. These men can go out and have 100 chicks, but if a woman has 100 bodies, that is going to affect her way worse than a man completely.
I got to read you a quick chapter. I got to read you a few lines out of my book so you guys can understand. And I assure you, gentlemen, it's not me trying to peddle the book. But, you know, when you put words down on paper, and I'm not just thinking about all these points, I can give you richer content. So bear with me a second, because I spoke about this seriously. Yeah, it's in chapter 7. The hook and the chemistry trap. You're not competing with her exes. You're competing with her chemistry. Men think they're competing with her ex-boyfriends, the guy who broke her heart, the fling she can't forget. They're not. They're competing with neurochemistry. Every woman carries a chemical history in her nervous system, a living archive of every emotional high she ever felt, every sexual spike that changed her baseline, every trauma that rewired her reaction, every dopamine peak that set a new standard, every oxytocin bond that formed, then broke. Her past is not just memories. Her past is a template. That template decides how she attaches, desires, trusts, resents, compares, withdraws, or bonds. Long before she decides anything. You're not just dealing with a woman. You're dealing with her chemistry. This chapter explains the trap no one warned men about. A woman's chemistry chooses the relationship before her logic ever shows up. Once you see the mechanics, female behavior stops being confusing and starts being predictable. And this chapter goes on to in much, much more detail so you can get a very good idea of how to identify these women and how to actually work with this type of woman. It's a lot of work. It's much easier on every man to actually find a woman who does not have a promiscuous past. But if you do happen to have or fall in love with a woman with a promiscuous past, there are ways to work with them, but holy Christ, you got to be a hard ass to control that type of woman. Yeah, and I said the word control, because technically every woman wants you to control her. But it's a higher risk for all men. Let's go back to the show.
I'm sorry. I don't think that women should be equal regarding sex or regarding body counts when it comes to men. I don't care how much a body count man has. As long as you ain't gay, you ain't suck some peen.
I care, Q. I care.
I care. I'm just hoping you're not bi. I don't care how much body counts you got. Just make sure you clean. You ain't got no STDs. You ain't got no baby mama or kids anywhere. That's what.
But a man's body count also affects him in a relationship.
Not necessarily.
Not like it does in a woman.
Yeah, it could.
Not like a woman.
It could. Well, body count matters to me.
This is when ignorance starts to scream out. She has no idea what she's talking about, and all the men are telling her. And we men, we all know that we don't attach to women like women attach to men. Men ejaculate his DNA into her, and that's antidotal, right? My point is that her biology changes when a man enters her. Nothing really comes back to the man. You know, just side note, it's much easier for a woman to catch HIV than it is for the man to catch it, because when a man is infected, he throws his DNA inside her. The DNA from the man, if she has it, the DNA from her has to find an opening womb or some sort of opening to get back into the man. Just think about it like that. That gives you a good sense of what actually occurs with females and males when it comes to who changes when sexual encounters occur.
Jess, can I go in with you? I agree with you where you might say, like, it matters to me how much a guy has been with whomever in this world. That's fine. You're entitled to that. But I promise you, we don't look at it the same way that y'all do. And you probably are the minority. So we don't argue for the minority. We have to argue for the majority.
That's not the point that I'm making. The point that I'm making is that people are worried about. Okay, what you're saying could be true, right? We're going to just say what you're saying is true. Cool. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is why harbor over some shit that you can't confirm? You can't confirm it. So why are we even having a conversation about it?
I mean, nobody has answered the question. You said
we just rounded up to this number.
And that's all we tackling right now. Is that
that's it.
I don't think men can. Okay, to answer the question, I don't think men can. They don't want to know that you've been bust down with two niggas at the same time. They don't want to know you've been in threesomes in college and now you want to hold out. I was watching a show and the girl was holding out her coochie till marriage, but then she was telling, I had one night stands a long time ago, and she said it was a year ago. You had one night stands a year ago, and women, you want to marry this guy holding out till marriage? Make that make sense. Like
women, keep your information to yourself. Some stuff you might have to take to the grave. Keep it to yourself. My thing is, as a woman, why are you even talking about previous sexual partners or experiences you had with your man anyway?
Wait, hold on. If a man sucks some dick, would you want him to not tell you?
A man sucking another man's dick is never going to be equivalent to a woman having 5 sexual partners.
No.
It's about a preference, Jess.
You tell women to hold their past and keep it a secret, and then these.
I'm not saying hold your past, but my thing is don't go around like this, y'all.
A secret is a secret. If it's a sexual secret, it is still a damn secret. If you did some whole shit or a man did some gay stuff, it's the same damn thing. Bottom line is that she says, be deceptive, ladies. Hide your history. I say to you, gentlemen, that's why any signs at all, you have to sit back and watch the signs. Don't get clouded by the punani. You have to sit back, watch how she acts. I'm not saying that she's going to be an expert at making you get off. That's not all you should look at. There is a lot more to how she bonds with you. If she's having problems bonding, if she's argumentative, all of this shit is in the book, but I'm trying to get it across to you so I don't have to go back and reference. If she has problems bonding, being argumentative, her skills to actually become attached to you, if you see some of these things that are not quite working well, more than likely, she has a hard time bonding with you, my friend. These are all the signs, and she can't hide this. She can't hide it. You know what? I got to go back to the book to read out a few of these things. I'm going to read this part. The 3 imprint models. The emotional blueprint she brings into every relationship. Every woman walks into a new relationship carrying 3 men inside her nervous system. Even if she didn't talk about them, moved on, barely thinks of them consciously, these 3 aren't about feelings. They're about imprints. They shape who she feels safe with, who she desires, who she fears, who she respects, who she compares you to, how she acts in conflict, and how deeply she can bond. Let's name them. The first man, the best man, and the worst man. Imprint 1, the first man, the emotional imprint. The first man is not always the first boyfriend. He's the first man who gave her deep emotional intensity, meaningful sexual experience, a strong sense of being chosen, the feeling this is real love. This imprint is powerful because every early dopamine and oxytocin default setting, her brain quietly decides this is what love is supposed to feel like. Even if he is toxic, he was childish, it didn't last, she can outgrow him mentally. Her nervous system rarely does. Signs, she still runs on the first imprint. Dating used to feel different. I've never felt that way again. She romanticizes about teenage or early 20s love. She treats her old emotion as the real thing and everything after as less. He sets her expectations for emotional intensity, what butterflies mean. I got those butterflies. How love should feel in her body. And if that first model was chaotic, she may unconsciously chase those because it feels familiar. And then, of course, this goes on to describe the imprint of the best man, and then after that, the imprint of the worst man. And so these 3 men that she's had in the past, just 3 of them, just 3. There are usually 3 main ones. Those imprint on her hard. Now imagine her having 20. You don't stand a chance, brother. That's why you stay away from women with high body counts, because they get imprinted on.
I didn't have me a threesome. Y'all didn't have me some dangling. Like, who gonna go around doing all that? My thing is, why even have that conversation, period? Because my thing is, I'm with you. Why we talking about what I did with Pookie or John?
All right, let me just say something. If I'm trying to meet somebody, I'm not gonna ever talk about what they had before. I'm trying to be the best dude.
Thank you, Shampoo, because that's what matters.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about that.
I mean, to answer the question, I don't think men should even ask. I mean, if you don't pick up on shit, then you probably don't need to know, and you should just be with the woman that makes you happy. But like, ask. I mean,
yeah, you see, this is the problem that a lot of you men go through, man. I address this in the book as well. This sort of, I'm going to bury my head in the sand and I'm not going to worry about it because I'm feeling good and she making me feel good. Listen, this happens at the top of the funnel. You know, the relationship funnel. At the top, you accept a lot and everything feels good. But as you get more serious and you invest your time, energy, and money into this woman, you need to start getting more serious. You need to start taking a stronger look, because remember, you don't have infinite amount of time, energy, money. You don't. So at some point, man, you got to say to yourself, all right, how much investment I want to put into this woman without knowing anything about her? And what do I need to know about her before I go to the next step or invest more money, energy, time, and attention into this woman? These are the questions you need to ask yourself. Seriously, gentlemen, life isn't a freaking, fly by night type of bullshit, man. Most of you guys are just so happy just to freaking get a woman that's giving you some panani. You get stupid. You never freaking ignore these things. Then all of a sudden she gets pregnant and you got a nightmare freaking baby mom on your hands and you just become Pookie number freaking 3 or 4. This is what's the problem, gentlemen. You can't just look at this so casually. When I hear men talk like this, no, that's not how this shit works, man.
It's elementary to say, be like, oh, hey, what's your body count? What's your past like?
Question.
It's like going through a phone and find something you don't like.
I got a question.
I don't
think that's even happening in real life. Has
Correct.
anyone ever asked a woman how much body she got?
Men do ask that question. They do. They do.
There's some.
They do.
That's not how you operate that. That's not the way.
You gotta know who she slept with, bro. You can't.
I think if you plan on taking her super serious, you gotta know. You
can't embarrass me.
Not gonna know. 90% of women lie. They lie to their friends about who they sleep with, and they're definitely lying to the man that's interested in them. I don't know one girl that was honest about their body count, even to their home.
I believe that.
Yeah,
so my thing is, it can't be verified. Why?
Here's the thing.
So you round it up by like the nearest 10.
Here's the thing. It depends on the role. Every woman, if she just for the moment, or you just messing with her, it probably don't matter unless she got something. But let's assume that we not gonna add in the factor of a chick having something or diseases or STDs or whatever. Let's take that out of it. If she's just for the moment, or y'all just messing around, or you ain't seeing nothing serious in her, that I understand. Yup, it really don't matter. You ain't really having that conversation. If you getting serious with her, and it's something that you plan on being with, and y'all might move in together, you gotta know. You gotta know. And I think that even when you just factor in the safety part of it, like, it's reasonable to know, okay, listen, this is how many people you've been with. This is what your lifestyle was, all of that. Your sexual history is absolutely important. Like, you should not buy, if you lease in a car, which is the equivalent of just messing with a chick for a moment, drive that bitch till the wheels go off. You know what I'm saying? But if you're trying to purchase it, this is something that you need as a reliable vehicle for a long time. You got to know the carfax. I don't know nobody that buys a car.
They're lying about the car.
So do y'all want to know? Because you want to know if she gonna cheat on you?
They just gonna
Listen to what I'm saying.
What's the okay? So then what? Help me understand.
You're not a good listener. You got to know the Carfax because, first of all, I don't need a lemon. Secondly, you're going to embarrass me. All right. I don't know if y'all understand this, but men have to be respected, especially when you start to move up the ranks. You have to be respected. The worst thing you could ever do, and it's happened more often than not, the worst thing that you can ever do is lie to a guy, and then he finds out later because you get into a room and his homeboy like, hey, you fucking with her on that type tip? And then it translates into, all right, listen, now you an outcast. Y'all can get away with that shit on some regular stuff, but if you start moving up and it's a nigga that got one up on you, or niggas is around and you fucked with him and I don't know about it, that's a problem. That's a major, major problem.
You see, women never understand this dynamic with men, right? Our respect level goes up when we have a woman who has not been touched by the group or the men around us, the men that we're doing business with. This is an important part of the male experience. Anytime a man enters a room and he has a woman that has been through half the guys or a few guys, the level of respect shown to that man drops significantly. When respect is dropped from a man, he loses deals, he loses network, he loses so much more, not just monetary, but where he stands in the society. A woman can destroy a man just by being a hoe with him. Women don't understand that her association with a man, and she's a hoe, brings that man down many notches. Mr. Will Smith. I mean, we could name many men who have been brought down by women who've been promiscuous as hell. But women don't understand the severity of it, because in her eyes, she thinks that she has gained status by having those high net worth or high value men hit it. The only time she realized that her value has dropped is when she starts to be seen by other men as a whole. The second all the group starts to understand she's been around, she then realized, hey, all of them are trying at me as well. There's no respect. These men treat me like a whole. They're trying to get at me. This is my husband here, and all of his friends and all the guys, they're trying to get at me. Why? Because the respect level has disappeared. You've already been with 2 or 3 of his homies. The word has gotten out that you're his. Guess what happens? Those men, lost respect for the man, and they now think that they should hit it. That is what women don't understand. Tell me I'm wrong, gentlemen. Tell me I'm wrong. And this is what Anton is trying to make these women understand, but they will never get it.
First of all, it's a lack of respect. Secondly, you embarrassing me. And third, you lie. And I know y'all don't put y'all keep trying to say it's the same thing, or y'all try to, equate it or compare it to men, and you can't. It's not the same. It's not the same, and it's a lack of respect. So if you just messing with her, that's one thing. If you're getting serious with her, it's important. It's very, very important.
All right, I'm going to lock it off there because they just sort of keep reiterating the same thing, and this one woman keeps pushing back. I'm going to put the link to the video so you guys can go and see the rest of it. I only recorded a very small portion. This is a 3-hour podcast, and I just thought I'd cover that little small portion. Okay, so my friends, listen, give me a thumbs up on this video. Let's have a discussion about this in the comment section, whether you agree or disagree, whether we should ask women about their body count, whether it's at the beginning of the relationship or in the middle, or if we should just leave it alone. I mean, I will tell you, as Anton said, if you're just hitting it, if you're not serious, then don't bother asking on the first date. But if you start to see the relationship starting to progress somewhere, definitely you got to start examining that question. Okay? So my friends, subscribe. Pick up my book over at Amazon. The link is in the description of this video. And of course, please, for those of you that have already purchased the book, please don't forget to give me a rating over on Amazon. Okay? So my friends, until tomorrow, remember, whenever in doubt, always, always ask an older man. I'll see you soon. Cheers.